High ticket closers that are making between $5,000 and $10,000 in commission that are looking to take their numbers up to the $20,000 to $30,000 a month mark. You have no excuse not to watch this video in its entirety, especially if you clicked on it in the first place to improve your sales skills. If you're not familiar with myself, my name's Ethan. I went from having no prior sales experience to making over $30,000 a month in commission as a high ticket closer, and I've cash collected over $56,062 in a single day. So grab a pen and paper, take some notes, and I promise you, if you begin to implement some of these advanced sales techniques, you'll break through every sales plateau that you've ran into up to now and finally get to the commission you deserve. Let's jump into the call review.
Are we all good for like 45 minutes, an hour?
Yeah.
Top?
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. Well, look, nice to meet you. I'm Tom. I'm based over here in Dubai, but I'm actually from the UK, so I've got a funny English accent. Just tell me to repeat myself. Sometimes the guys over in the US have a hard time. I'm from Liverpool, so it's a Scouse accent, like Paddy the Baddy.
Okay.
Okay, but look, nice to meet you. So, like, I'd love to learn a little bit more about yourself and what you want to kind of get out of this, most importantly, and make sure that we can actually facilitate that. So, like, what is the biggest outcome that you want to achieve?
Passive income. I mean, I don't know much about Forex. I'd like to learn about it.
Pause.
And
Okay, so this is just me reviewing this live, by the way. So,
are you trying to review before I review you? Seeing if it's the same thing.
Trying to get control to limit and belief.
Yeah, you're trying to take the frame. You're trying to take the frame of this sales call review, effectively. Where's that coming from, man? Where's that coming from?
I don't know. It's an insecurity.
Because at this point, all I would say is this is actually just a generalized point I would make, but I don't know whether this is nuanced, right? There's definitely going to be times where you bring a different energy to your calls, like everybody, because you're a high energy person naturally, and because of your accent, goes without saying, Scousers talk fast. I would almost say that you actually have to make it even more of a conscious effort than most people to slow down.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, that energy is good in a lot of ways, but in sales environments, especially with prospects like this, it's intimidating in a way. It's almost a bit too full on, and they're already in an uncomfortable, nervous position. Just in regard to the opening question, I don't know whether you always ask it like this, but always, obviously, fair question. What's the specific outcome you're looking to achieve? Depending on like what pre-call stuff you might have already sent him is probably why, but like I always preface that like what is the specific outcome you're looking to achieve from getting into Forex trading right now?
Yeah.
Like I'll always add that on the back end just to make it like hyper specific.
Yeah.
Because if you're like, what's the specific outcome, just to avoid someone saying the specific outcome for what? And you're like, for what you're doing on the call, mate. Obviously.
Broad question. It's a broad question, and I got a broad answer in return, obviously.
Yeah, exactly that. Which is you sometimes don't realize how much you have to corral people at times because they'll just off they go like sheep.
I'd like to create a little bit of passive income.
Okay. When you say passive income, like what are we talking? Another shit question.
How do you mean?
What are we talking?
Yeah. It's especially because if he's American, he probably won't even understand what that means.
Right.
Yeah. It's a Scouse way of asking. So like how do you mean is like my go-to. I just live by how do you mean.
Yeah. In what way? Something like that.
How do you mean or in what way? Yeah. But how do you mean I love, because I love using the word how, because it's not grammatically correct. Like there's not actually like a real grammatical sentence.
True. And
it almost pattern interrupts people to answer. I actually genuinely think that on like a psychological level.
No, that makes sense.
How much money is in the world?
Sorry, you broke up there, man.
I want as much as I can get. Oh, I asked you how much money is in the world. Okay. I said I want as much of it as I can get.
Of course. Doesn't everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. But like, I mean, passive income is generally it's subjective. So like what I would say like I want passive income, may be completely different to you. So what are we talking? Are we talking about something that you can run alongside
Yeah.
your 9 to 5? Are we talking something that you want to take over your 9 to 5? How much money is passive income generating? Like what?
Take over.
So the terminology I use when people give me these like wishy-washy goals around finances is I'd say, I mean, with this guy, I'd probably said, well, look, that's amazing that you've got really high expectations and goals for yourself. That's always a good start. But unless we get, of course, like more of a specific goal, it's almost like we're kicking a ball into the wind without a goalpost, right? So if you could make that a bit more tangible for me, what does that actually look like for yourself on a genuine level?
Yeah.
Now he understands the rationale behind why we need it to be specific, like why he has to give us the answer. But also we've made it obviously all in his interest, which is just the go-to.
Okay.
Take over. Something that I can grow to take over my day job.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So for you to do that, like what do you need to be generating from trading?
At least what I make now, which is about 170.
Okay. So that's 170 divided by 12. So that's around 15K a month.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. So 15K a month we generate from trading. That allows us to leave is it a 9 to 5 or is it's something different?
It's supposed to be, but
You can probably answer then, like, what have you done there with that question as well?
I've told them,
Yeah.
is it to
So
leave the
you
9 to 5? I've given him I've given him an option.
Yeah.
I've given him a way
Yeah,
out
yeah.
for him to not think.
Yeah. Made an assumption effectively. So obviously better way of kind of going into that is, so you mentioned you want to replace your current income. What is it that you currently do for your? And now, like, as you've already pre-clarified, which I'm assuming we don't go into, we then probably should have begun to flesh out more of the current circumstance before Brian, but we'll see how you operate here.
I think
you can call it
for
9 to
me,
5.
yeah,
Mm.
like at the time I can see he's very nervous. So I want to be the leader, but I also want to be like more just like, come on, like let's kind of lead you through this. Let's kind of not
Yeah.
drag you through it, but almost let's fucking work here. You know what I mean? Like what are we doing here? What do we
You've
want?
got an intense vibe. That's what I pick up on. Like, I feel an intensity
Sorry.
behind the way that you speak. Yeah, like genuinely. I think
Yeah.
like, because I think being able to do both is important. Like when you're speaking to a person who's more type A, you're going to be more confident than most people are at just slapping them about when they need one and getting them where they need to be.
Yeah.
But when you come with these prospects, just being able to slow down, lean back, and just chill with them.
Okay. As type
I'm,
Z.
I'm
Or
in
like
here about
an
5:30 a.m. But
wow. Okay. Okay. So you're in there way more than the hours that you're meant to be.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
A 9 to 5, or is it's something different?
it's supposed to be, but you call it 9 to 5.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
Supposed to be. What do you mean by that?
I'm
Or
in
like
here about
9 to 5.
5:30 a.m. But
Wow. Okay.
Wow, in from 5:30 a.m. And so when is it that you finish?
Okay. So you're in there way more than the hours that you're meant to be.
yeah,
Because he didn't tell us that.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So allows us to leave the 5 to 5, let's call it.
yeah.
And then
He might not even finish at 5. He might be 5 a.m. till fucking
7.
9
It comes
p.m.
out that he
Yeah,
is. It comes out that he is, bro. It comes out that he's
there we
finishing.
go.
From
7.
there, we can what we've got obviously a lot more time back, most importantly.
hmm
What beyond
Mm.
leaving the job though, like what is the main motivator for this?
Uh,
Yeah, so
I should be
yeah,
going into current position. Yeah, I should just be fucking.
yeah.
He's insecure. He's nervous. I should just go into current position, get some data, and that will get the motivator.
Because understandably, we've got the surface level understanding that he's in a job currently
Megan,
that he's not fully satisfied with, and he's having to work too long by the sounds of it. But
Yeah.
we don't actually have clear depth on what the reasoning is behind him properly wanting to get out of that job yet. So it's almost like we're clarifying that and being like, okay, but besides that, what are the other reasons? When we've got like loads more depth, we could still get out of just that reason alone.
Being able to be home.
By the way, if anyone's got questions at any point, just click like the raise hand button as well.
2 minutes. I'll carry on. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Just gotta
No
go
worries.
to the dog.
Johan,
I just wanted to ask, wouldn't it work in a situation like this where he's making decent money, 15K a month, to just tell him like, look, man, I mean, most 90% of the people would be super, comfortable in your position. This is something that they would settle for. Some would even kill for your position. So what's got you? No, in this situation or not?
And I'll explain why. So I would always push back on somebody else on a prospect if they started to describe their goals or their current circumstance in relation to everybody else. Like, well, doesn't everybody want to make more money? Oh, well, doesn't everybody want to not work a 9 to 5? I always push back if anyone's watched my calls, and I'll say, well, we're not talking about everybody here. We're talking about you. So what is it that you actually want in your life? Because that's important. That is part of the same regard, because the only time where I would do that pushback that you've given is when they are being lackadaisy about changing the situation. So for an example, if this guy came on and was like, oh yeah, well, I'm making like 15K a month already. And then if you were like, well, do you enjoy your job? And they were like, yeah, it's all right. That's when you do that, because you're like, well, look, mate. Because then you're like, well, look, you're making 15K a month. You said you don't necessarily even mind the job you're doing. I mean, there are a bunch of people that would be completely satisfied and fine with that. Like, what actually has got you then looking to start something new like this?
Yeah.
Because can you see how that now makes sense? Because it stops them from being this really like off the cuff, this isn't that serious anymore. It's like, well, now you have to elaborate to me why we're even here then.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I see.
Can I add on to
But
that, Ethan, as well?
Yeah, go on.
I think it's super important that you actually get granular with it, like, and actually understand those circumstances a lot more. You could be saying 170, what's that look like after tax? Right? How much are you actually taking into your pocket every single month? Okay. And after your bills and expenses, how much are you actually left with? Oh, actually, I'm more paycheck to paycheck at the minute because I've got this and I've got whatever. And then there's your urgency for making more money. So, but if you don't actually go down that route, you'll never know. And if you make the assumption, oh, this guy's making 15K, like he's fine. He's not fine. How the fuck do you know?
Yeah.
So just like get as granular with it. And one other point that I'll make just on the back of that, the more granular you get, the more it shows him like, oh shit, this guy's actually sharp as fuck and he's not missing a trick and he actually cares as well to ask these questions and find out exactly where I am rather than just try and put me in a box and move me down a conveyor belt.
Yeah, massively. Like, it also counteracts people from creating like a fabricated existence, which oddly enough people do more often than you think, like where they try and make their life sound better than it actually is. But then when you get granular with them, they can't continue lying anymore because they lose themselves in the lies. And you're like, hold on, you said we were making this much, but now you've mentioned we've got this much in credit card debt. Wait, well, how much are you having to pay on the credit card each month then? And they're like, oh, I'm having to pay this much on my credit card. I'm like, okay, so you're making 10K a month, but we're having to pay a couple grand off of debt and this and that every single month. So at the end of the day, what you're left with, as Steve said,
and then plus that onto the amount of hours that you're working and the time that you're missing out with your family or the time that you're missing out with whatever the fuck else that you want to do with your life. No, your situation is not great. You can't ever make that assumption just because someone says, yeah, I'm making 15K a month. You need to get granular with it, for sure.
And then you could even like...
Sorry, bro, go ahead.
I was going to say, you could just quantify the time then as well. Well, what quantifiable value would you put on the time that you're having to work to make this 10K a month? Because you might be making 120 grand a year, but you're only getting to spend 2 hours a week with your kids. How much would how much would an extra 10 hours a week with your kids be worth to you?
This brother
Taking a
looks like
sale.
he's in work right now.
He is.
He is.
And it
He
shows you
is.
how much free time he's got, you know.
An observation about the call is he I do cover a lot of the stuff we just spoke about way too late. So I covered it after like 15 to 20 minutes. So I was spending too much time at the top of the call because he was giving me vague answers. I was spending too much time probing up there rather than just kind of fact finding. And that would have given me the motivation anyway. That would have given me the pain. So
Yeah.
I was trying too hard at the top where he's nervous.
Yeah.
I think
Which
you're
is,
going down the right route, Tom. It's like get that tangible goal and then just work backwards from there. You get me? So whatever he's like wanting to make now or whatever, you can just work backwards rather than just kind of drip feed them like, is it this, is it that? And he's gonna just latch onto one of them. You can just ask it
This-
more open-ended.
I was going to say, like, this is a caveat to the process as well, that like it actually did really open my eyes to like the way conversations can flow at times. Because when I was on like the AI offer, people obviously ran completely different processes. Like people were doing all sorts on there, and we would get a lot of frustrating prospects, I would put it, like quite type A, business savvy prospects, or at least they thought they were business savvy. So they had quite high ego. And don't ever feel as though you have to only do certain components of your call when they're in the framework. Like, oh, I can't move on to the limitation until I've got like more importance behind the why, or I can't consequence them before I've actually built out their vision and actually gone into like their goal awareness and things like that. You can technically do whatever you want as long as it makes sense conversationally. And there would be times where, like Tom's just said here, somebody's giving me more resistance at the beginning of the call because they're nervous or they lack trust. I would purposely say to myself, okay, I'm just going to take it easy now, but I will try and get more depth out of them later on the back end of the call, and then try and get more pain and the why and things like that after me and them have spoken maybe more about their goals and made it a bit more happy for them in a way, because you can almost warm people up then to actually asking harder hitting questions. The biggest reason why I don't tell a lot of you to do that though is because when you're all first starting out closing or you haven't taken a lot of calls, I would all rather you guys played it more safe than all of a sudden decided to throw your frameworks out of the window and say, I'm just going to freestyle every single one of my conversations. Like, I'd rather you didn't do that, because probability wise, you're just going to confuse yourself and get lost. But just consider that as you get more and more advanced. Hunter, did you have a question, by the way, or did we answer it?
Oh, I guess I'm not muted to begin with. I had a comment and then you guys covered it, where I was just gonna say that I've seen sales calls with dudes that are like business owners and they're like, yeah, I got fucking, I'm like 20K a month income. And you could think like, oh, okay, so money's not his problem. But then, I've seen people probe on it and the guy's taking home like 2 fucking K. And you're like, wow,
Exactly.
that's a way big difference. Like,
Yeah.
to where the sales guy saw actually called him out and he's like, so why are you lying to me then? You're saying you're making this big number, making it out like that's not an issue, but then you're obviously hearing some of the other things you've told me because you're not even making any fucking money. And the
Yeah.
guy still stuck to that, where he's like, well, but my business is. And he's like, okay,
Yeah.
but you're not fucking your business. Like, what do you mean?
This
I mean,
is
it's funny.
this is one thing you guys have to be really cautious of. There have been times where people who are running businesses will actually claim their business revenue as how much money they're making when their profit margins are like 5%. It's not, how much are you making a year? Oh yeah, I'm making like 600,000. Yeah, just 550,000 of that goes on trucks. Like, right, okay, dude. Classic.
Be humble. Okay.
Yeah, I mean the other day on Tuesday, I mean, shoot, I didn't get home till after 8.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow, 5 till 8. Okay.
Okay.
So I think was it? Yeah, it was Tuesday. I think.
Okay.
Hit them with the mirror reiterate of what they say. So obviously I do also do like the wow. Okay. but I'd go 5 to 8, just like that, because like you're re-cementing the exact words they've just said back to them, as if it just makes it plant it harder on
Okay.
them.
I assume, do you have a family like back home? Do you live with a partner, kids, maybe?
No, yeah, I just got a wife and my son.
Oh, congrats, man. That's sick. That's sick. So, so the goal is to be home, spending more time with them.
Congrats that you've got a wife and kid that you can't spend any time with. Is that a congrats moment?
I think I was just trying to soften him. I'm just trying. I
Yeah.
can see how nervous he is. So I'm just trying to be more friendly, be more like,
Yeah.
I'm your mate, yeah. which, whether it's good or bad. One thing I noticed about that though, I said, spend more time with your family and kids. He never said that. Maybe he hates his family and kids. Who knows?
Yeah.
I've assumed again, and I've told him.
What I'm perceiving here is I actually think his nervousness is making you nervous.
Yeah, I agree. I agree wholly.
Yeah. Because you're coming across nervous with the questions. Almost the only reason why you ever assume or feed people answers is because you lack confidence in that very moment to ask the
Yeah.
open-ended question. Because subconsciously your mind's trying to take more of a level of control over the conversation so that it actually makes you feel more secure and safe.
Yeah, I agree that. I agree, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. And you think trading is the path for that, which is great. Are you already trading?
Just like
Because he might not even think that either. He might not have a clue about trading as of yet.
I
He's
watch
already
my 401k
He already said he doesn't. I don't know more. I don't
and
really
stuff
know anything about trading.
like that, and
Mm.
I don't.
Okay.
I kind of watch that and manipulate that as needed to maximize the growth.
Okay. Right, let me just shut this door because the car's going past the way too loud. Okay, so we're not actively trading like Forex or anything like that. Are
Total Dubai flex.
you trade like
No.
cryptos, anything like this?
I've done crypto in the past,
Okay.
but that was nothing long term. It was let's make a quick buck and make my money and get out because it's so volatile.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane how volatile crypto can be. So you haven't really been actively
Okay. When was that? Want to get granular context on that. When was that? And you said there you wanted to get in and make a quick buck and get out. I suppose what actually caused you to get involved, given the fact you knew it was volatile? Because make a quick buck and get out, that's almost something somebody would do if they felt like they needed to try something. You know, like it's basically like gambling, right? That is the equivalent of what he said. Super volatile. Like that's like me saying, man, I need to make some cash. I'm going to go hit the roulette wheel.
volatile trading cryptos or anything for that matter.
No,
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. All right, cool. So we know we were.
What
Bro,
sounds
shit
good about
himself.
that, Tom?
Nah, I know.
Nothing sounds good about this so far.
And with this, we want to generate a passive income, one that we don't have to be working in a warehouse or anything like that. We want to make around 15K a month minimum to be able to transition out. So you can spend more time back home with your wife, with your son, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, so with the wife, with the son, and you know, live that better. Like, does your wife work or is it just yourself?
no, just me.
Okay.
She stays home with the son.
Okay, perfect. So the goal is to with your son, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, so with the wife, with the son, and you know, live that better. Like, does your wife work or is it just yourself?
No, just me.
Okay.
She stays home with the son.
Okay, perfect.
Got to be really careful with the words we use because perfect this is not a perfect situation.
Yeah.
And as well as like when somebody says something you're like, okay, yeah, no, that's great. Perfect. They're all positive affirmation statements. Whereas we want to acknowledge this conversation as if what you are telling me, dude, is dire, basically. Like, I'm not going to say it like that, but I'm going to allow them to perceive that from my tonality and the way I'm acting. Like, when I'm like, wow, okay, so she doesn't work at the moment then. So are you taking all the weight on your own shoulders effectively to support the family yourself. Yeah. Is that the reason why you're working such long hours, doing the 5 to 9? How often do you actually have to do that? Work the, gosh, how long is that actually? What was 17 hours, 16 hours a day? How long are you having to do that for usually? He's like, oh, this long. Like, has that been going on the whole time? What was the reason behind your wife not getting a job as well, so that you could ease the burden off a little bit and spend more time with the kids? Maybe then you'll get out of him that he wants to be the provider. Boom, that's an identity.
Yeah.
He wants to be the provider. I can understand that, and I can respect that as a man. I suppose, though, do you feel as though you've had to sacrifice becoming that provider to actually be the carer and spend time with your kids as they're growing up, and even time with the wife when it comes down to it? Now you've fucking crumbled him.
So the goal is to be back with them back home.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if you have a different Wi-Fi connection, bro, but it's like you keep freezing going on and off, and the audio.
This is where I'm nuanced as to what I would say, but because I know it's just your dialect, but I would never call someone bro, personally.
Why, bro?
Because I would would you deem that as unprofessional, or would you just deem that as that is just your dialect? Like, you would just refer to everybody as bro?
I think I'm working with Alex G, and bro is at the end of every sentence. He's like a 24-year-old trader. He's like, yeah, bro, I'm fucking sick, bro, fucking bro.
Yeah,
I don't really like bro is. It actually is in my dialect, I suppose. Nowadays it is anyway, but
It's definitely Scouse. They say bro.
yeah, I'd say so. But it's more because I'm working with like Samuel and Alex G, and bro is everywhere in their dialect.
If anyone slides in my DMs with yo bro or yes bro, do you need an appointment, sir? I'm like, you're in the fucking bin, mate.
Yeah, that's true. I'm the same.
Like, no one's calling James Bond bro at the end of the day. James Bond isn't calling anyone bro, that's for sure.
I was a little bit off.
Oh, probably because I'm trying to conceal myself between two cabinets.
Oh,
Maybe that.
Is that a little better now?
conceal yourself. Wait, what's going on? Get clarity.
Yeah, it seems to be perfect now, bro. But you said at the start of the call
Okay.
he's not allowed to be on camera on his phone.
He said he's not allowed. Okay.
His camera is against.
If you need to
company
take. Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's no wonder it's a stressful
policy.
situation.
And obviously you're conscious. If you need to turn the camera off, you're more than welcome to.
Oh, it's all right. If someone, I have quite a few windows in.
Wow, but this shows how serious this guy actually was then. Yeah. He really wants and needs help in some way, shape, or form, but he's willing to effectively risk his job to try.
In my office, so
Okay.
I can see if anyone's walking up.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so that's the goal. More time, wife, kids. That seems like a really important goal for you, right? Now, where we are now.
Is this an outlier in a sense, would you say, Tom, for yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, we're 8 minutes in, and I'm not in current position yet.
Yeah.
I'm not in fact.
Just the biggest takeaway so far is just the biggest thing is obviously refrain from summarizing what somebody's looking for with your words. Just always ask. I say always feign naivety, or even just pretend to be stupid effectively is what I do. So like, if I were to do a re-summary to someone, I'd go, okay, so like, just so that I can make sure I've not really missed anything with you, would you say this, and this is the situation that you're looking for? Because I never want to put words into your mouth. And they're like, yeah. Like, okay. Then I'd move on. Because the moment you're like, so you want to do this and this and that and this and that, even if you've said a few things there, sometimes people actually will push back if they're that personality type. But with this guy, even if you've said a few things that he might not even think, he'll just go, yeah, that's kind of pretty much it.
We're working in as an engineer, but like you've got a lot of fingers and a lot of pies within the business, it seems. Generally, you're working 5 to 5.
You've got no fucking idea about that. You sh-
I do, because there's his excuse for not missing the call 2 days
Ah,
before was I'm involved with 3 different things right now, not that aren't my job. That was what he said on the
okay.
he no showed. But
I don't,
again, I shouldn't have
uh,
said that. I shouldn't have
yeah,
told
yeah.
them that. I should have been
That's,
just said,
But which
yeah.
is 12 hours
I thought you just pulled that out your ass.
a day.
Yeah.
Is that 5 days a week?
Most times, sometimes it's 6 to
Whoa, 6 to 7 days a week. What the fuck is that?
7.
Okay, okay.
Oh my God, this guy is having to work 6 to 7 days a week from 5 in the morning to support his wife and kid who he doesn't get to see.
Look at that
Okay.
guy's face on the screen. Look how fucking done he is with working a lot of hours. And
That guy, this guy.
okay, this makes sense. And sometimes it's even longer hours because sometimes you're not getting home till 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
How many hours? Like granular
when
Steve
the
McLaren knows.
site was going down, I didn't get home till 8 p.m.
Yeah.
8 p.m. This guy's literally working 5 till 8.
Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot of hours. But
Yeah.
generally we're getting paid around 15K a month. Okay, so I'm gathering the data now. Apart from like all these things that you've mentioned, mainly the time away from family seems to be an important thing.
Yeah.
Beyond this, is there
It used to be important. What is going on, Tom?
well,
This was a rough
Head's
call
gone.
for you.
Head's
Your
gone.
head's gone.
anything else that's making you want to like leave that job?
And I'm only being direct because I know Tom can fucking take it. He'd say the same when I've had shit calls.
The potential to make even more.
Hold on, I want to actually like hear what that was properly was.
Um,
Hold
Okay, this
on.
makes
Let's
sense.
see.
And sometimes it's even longer hours because sometimes you're not getting home till 8 p.m.
yeah.
Okay.
Like when the site was going down, I didn't get home till 8 p.m.
Yeah, okay, that's a lot. That's a lot of hours. But generally we're getting paid around 15K a month. Okay, so I'm gathering the data now. Apart from like all these things that you've mentioned, mainly the time away from family seems to be an important thing.
Yeah.
Beyond this, is there anything else that's making you want to like leave that job?
The potential.
So I would say here, this, and this is literally what you said at the very start. This is where when people ask, and this is like such a common closer question, when do I know when I've got enough to move on? When do I know when I've dug enough to move on to the next component? We have realistically now all the leverage we would possibly need. We just haven't gotten clarity on it. There's the difference. Because obviously this is nuanced, and I would say this is going to come down to everyone's personal opinion, right? Which will come from experience. But we've already established with this guy, he's working pretty absurd hours, right? More hours than most people would ever want to work. I'm not going to assume that. I'm going to ask him to get his own answer. But on average, we can safely assume it's going to be no. I'd rather not work, 13, 15 hours a day. He said, well, he's currently taking a call that he's not even allowed to take to try and find an opportunity to change this situation. So that's intent as well under the surface. He's got a wife and kids who he has to support because his wife doesn't work. That's it. That's all you would actually need to know now because there's so much leverage there. It's ridiculous that he's having to still do all of this for that. So I always think, just think to yourself, have I gained enough substance, but not enough clarity on the substance? Because is he in a circumstance that he would realistically want to be in? Yes or no? If the answer to that is no, you've got enough. Just gain more clarity on it. Because that's all you need. The moment someone tells you they're in a circumstance that they don't actually want to be in, that's it. Plain and simple. It doesn't actually need to be like that much more depth. Funny enough, these are a lot of the things I've been struggling with on roleplay season. Nice. Good that we can get takeaways from it then. Because this is probably something I used to struggle with a lot as well. Where I'd think like, oh, but I need to dig for more pain. I need to dig for more pain or more of a gap, or like, but what else is there? What else is there? And then that's where you can almost end in like a rabbit hole of loops of like, how shit can I make this person's situation when it's already shit enough, effectively.
Well, just to add on to that, Ethan, as well, they're only on the call for more money and more time. So you just chunk down on both of those things and get clarity on how much money they're making and how much time they've got. That's it. So if it's time and this guy wants to spend more time with his family and kids or whatever, how much time are you able to actually spend with them right now? Considering you're working 5 till 8 or whatever, 6 days a week, or you get to spend like maybe a Sunday with them. You only get to spend 1 day a week. How long has that been the case? Past 5 years? How old's your son? 4. So all of his life. Yeah. How does that actually sit with you, bro? Bro.
Yeah, bro. How does that sit with you, bro? One
Nah,
really
but
good.
Yeah. Just like chunking down like that. That's all it is on the time and on the money.
One massive, because that's like a lay down chunk. If they're like, I've had this problem for 5 years, my kid's 4, you're like, right, okay, so you've basically never seen your kid. If that's not the case, you can actually just do the math yourself, which is what I used to do with people, and it absolutely wrecks their head. Like when somebody says, oh, my kid's 6, but I've been working X amount of hours for the last 3 years and I've wanted to change for the last 3 years. I'm like, right, okay, so how many hours a week do you actually get to spend with like your son then? And they're like, oh, I only really get to see him on the weekends. I'm like, wow. So you only get to see them like what, every Saturday really? Like one proper day out of the week to spend quality time with them. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, if you think about it, that's a 1/7 of their time, right? So now you just do the math on that. And like, obviously, I don't like do it properly, like where I'm like crunching the numbers, but just think about it. I'm like, wow, well, if we look at it, like you've realistically only been getting to spend, gosh, what would it be? Like 1.5 months, 2 months of each year with your kid of quality time, effectively. And then they're like, oh, fuck, I've never thought of it like that on a broader scale. I've always just thought of it of every Saturday each week. But if it's every Saturday, that's literally they're only getting to see their kid a 7 of the kid's existence. We've got to hammer that home to them.
To make even more.
Okay, make more money.
Because here the ladder's only so tall, I can only make so much.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I mean, I can probably go up 2 more steps before I'm just top of what I can do, and unless I go get like a master's degree or something, I'm not gonna do that.
No, okay, so you don't really see a long-term future at that job?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are you gonna go?
It could be, but it's
Why not?
it's not gonna allow me to get what I want out of life.
What does this guy want? I actually want to know.
Which is what, like the more time back with family.
What's a new
rap there?
Oh, don't you tell him what he wants. You asked it and then you added that for some reason.
Yeah, time with family, being able to give them.
This is what's peculiar though, because it's the problem with this guy's perception of reality. Because what he actually wants is time with his family, but he keeps saying that he wants more money in an odd way. So what we now need to do is destroy this fallacy that he's built up in his mind of, okay, well, you said there that you want to scale up your income because we can only really go up 2 brackets in what you're currently doing. But at the same time, you want more time with the family. I mean, I suppose out of those two, like what would actually be the priority there for yourself? They're then going to say, probably time with the family, or they'll say, well, ideally, I'd want both, right? Like I want to make more money and I want to have more time back with them. And is that not a possibility then in whatsoever in what you're currently doing? Because by the sounds of it, it's actually already restricting you on time, right? It's like this dude seems to have like his priorities a bit skewed. They almost need to be realigned.
What they want out of life, and I would say I have a pretty damn good life right now, and I'm able to
Wow, yeah, this guy's living in fairyland. He is living in cuckoo
give them
land.
almost everything, but
Okay.
And there's definitely some things in life I want that most other people don't have.
Okay. Like what? Just so I'm clear.
I I like the life of luxury, man. I have a 3,500 square foot house. I want a 5,000 square foot house. I'm driving a pretty nice Ford Platinum truck, but I want, say, the Raptor.
Yeah.
I
As a beat.
yeah. There's things like, it sounds greedy of me to say because I have it pretty made as it is, but
Now we need to because we haven't gotten granular, it's gonna make it really difficult now, obviously, in a sense. But this guy is living in cuckoo fairy fucking land. Like, he's now going on about driving a fancy truck. Like, brother, what are you talking about? You've just told me you work 6, 7 days a week, working like 14, 15 hours a day. What are you talking about? You want a new truck? And we have to eradicate this weird psychology he's living behind and have him perpetuate to himself that he's actually been persistently sacrificing quality time with his wife and kids, chasing after this check every single week.
it's what I want. Those are my aspirations. I love the new Corvette that dropped, the ZR1X. Love to have one. I don't have the means to have that right now.
Okay. And also, it's having the means to have that, but it seems like you haven't got the time to enjoy something like that either, right?
So see, you know it.
It's starting
just
to get
telling
tricky
him.
now. So that 11 minutes was shit. Now
Yeah.
it starts to get a
No,
little bit ticky.
no.
Okay. So you need to get one. You need to be able to use it. Get the most out of it down the highway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. How long?
Wait, but he's just nodding dog yesing because you're making statements rather than questions. But if you rephrase that exact same statement as a question, he'd have to affirm to himself, wait, yeah, I wouldn't be able to fucking enjoy the car because I've got no public time.
How long has this been something that you've wanted to move away from?
Past couple of years. I mean,
Years.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, I don't know. I've wanted out of corporate America for a while. As I've climbed it, I thought it would get better and better, and it's got worse and worse.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, I'm making someone else rich instead of myself.
You buying another man a Corvette?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say a couple of years, like what are we talking? Like 2 or like 5?
2 or 3.
Okay.
Good, granular.
It's really when my career growth kind of took off, and
okay. So 2 or 3 years ago was when we decided that we wanted something more. We wanted something different.
yeah.
So like,
Oh, you can tell this is making him uncomfortable. His whole demeanor has just shifted in 2 questions. You can just see that.
get on this
Yeah.
little beer in a minute.
I think the second you said buying another man a Corvette, I think that actually hit him because his whole demeanor shifted after that.
When we think about it, what's been the biggest reason that we haven't been able to, or have you tried anything?
Good correction there, just to get some clarity first.
Uh,
Ollie literally did that, I'm pretty sure, right? In one of the last calls we watched, word for word. It's the exact same thing. You were going to ask that question and then you did that. Yeah.
I've pondered entrepreneurship, but to build a company that's going to take even more time away. So I'm trying to find something which, it's like finding a needle in the haystack that isn't as demanding as total entrepreneurship and building a
So there's limiting belief.
Yeah.
Like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
company from the ground up, but can still yield high rewards.
Okay. And why do you think trading is that thing?
There's
And so what makes you say a needle in a haystack?
millions of people who do it all the time. I mean, it's not very often you find a stockbroker or something that's living paycheck to paycheck.
I mean, yeah, they jump off roofs all the time, mate. Like, what are you on about?
Yeah.
I'm sure there
Also a fallacy. There's millions of people making millions of dollars doing everything.
are some, but there's also a hell of a lot of them that are filthy rich.
Yeah.
And
So I would push back on his conceptualization now. I'm not sure obviously what angle you go down here, but I would push back on the conceptualization of you could definitely just hit them with that. Well, you could literally do a pushback of, well, of course there are millions of traders who don't make anything though, right? And I would say, I mean, if we were to look at any business model, e-commerce, dropshipping, trading, all of these different vehicles, would you not agree that there are people who are multimillionaires doing those different things as well? So what's causing you to fixate on trading? in particular. Like, I want you to sell me on the concept of you even doing this. And in
Yeah,
regard to you mentioning that things like this are a needle in a haystack, what would actually make trading any different? Just completely destroy this house of cards. It'd be cool to do a training around fallacies. Yeah, I think I could make a note. It's when it comes to like fallacies, what I pretty much mean by that is it's very common for prospects to. I'll wrap up this call with you. By the way, I really appreciate sharing that, Tom, because a lot of people, when they know they've had a rough call, just wouldn't even share it. And they'd just be like, oh, I'm only going to share calls I absolutely rip. Like Xhaka. But that's how we
we
learn.
missed out on some juicy shit there. That was
Yeah. Now,
should have seen the
if
replay.
what if we don't have another call Wednesday next week? I reckon we can go into the rest of that because I think that this call is actually really useful for us to review. I think this because the type of prospect as well. But I'll run like a couple minutes over really quick to answer your question, Hunter. But what I was just going to say there in regard to fallacies is what I mean in a lot of cases is prospects that you deal with have a belief system that they've had imprinted from childhood, grown up with, that they conceptualize as reality. They believe that this is true. That's the difference. That it's hard to start a business, that it's hard to make XYZ amount of money. And therefore they're living by that as if it's the truth, the reality. And if you don't break this house of cards fallacy for them, then and have them reiterate to themselves that what they're saying doesn't actually make real sense, then they'll stick by it. And eventually that could be the objection at the end.